Sonic's like unironically a great character to draw to just like warm up because he's so his design is so like edgy. You can make him go fast and have cool gestures and stuff, you know? And you can just draw really stupid Sonic stuff, like pregnant Sonic. I think that's a pretty popular thing to draw. I don't think you're a real artist until you draw pregnant Sonic, to be honest with you. There's nothing wrong with pregnant Sonic. You were talking about your mum about pregnant Sonic yesterday. How does this come up? I don't think I've ever talked to my mum about pregnant Sonic, to be honest with you. You're unhinged. You know what? I can relate to that. But you gotta pick and choose your fights. We all know there's nothing wrong with pregnant Sonic, but I don't think I don't think your mum's the person to convince. You're pregnant Sonic for me? Oh, there he is. That's mildly pregnant. I was expecting him to be more like on the verge of giving birth. I like him though. He looks happy about it. I can get the animated feet out eventually. I'm gonna hold off. You know, keep it a surprise. If anyone here's new, then you don't know what's coming. How to start searching a character? I would say, yeah, if you're drawing any character, you should start with the underlying anatomy. Or like, it doesn't have to be like muscles or anything. But yeah, any drawing I do, I still start with like a line of action. And then like limbs in like a gestural way, and then like head, torso, pelvis, and then build the basic anatomy on top of that. You're kind of drawing a mannequin, I guess. If you're really, really good like Kim Jong-gi, you can just draw the thing. But I'd say for the average person, you want to always start from the very beginning, which is why people teach you gesture drawing and stuff like that. It's because like that's where you should probably start every time you draw a human. How long have you been drawing seriously? Since... Wait a minute. That's so... I was 16... 8 years ago? That doesn't sound right. It's been like, I guess 7 years. In my mind, it should have been like 5, but I guess it's been like 7. 7 or 8. Damn, what the hell? Yeah, I started when I was 16 and I'm 24 now. I mean, the thing is like, most of my progress took place over like a couple of years when I was like, probably like 19, 20. I think like you need enough time and like you need to build your way up to the point where you're ready to actually learn. Because your beginning stages are always just gonna kind of be like, fumbling around and nothing's really going in and you're just kind of doing a bunch of crap. Like I feel like that's just inevitable and you kind of need to do that for a while before things start to click and you can actually start learning. You seen the video, the like AI voice video where it's like the two guys and they're talking about like would you want to be ratatouille?
I just think I would love to get ratatouille.
That's a funny video. Would you want to be ratatouille? What do you guys think? No? But the rat could have, like, you can choose any skill that the rat has. You want to do your own skill? Okay, but, like, you can have your own skills, but you could have a rat with good skills too. There's really no reason to not be ratatouille the way I see it. The only problem is, you gotta have the rat in a way that he can see what's going on, but no one else can see him. Then again, though, I feel like everyone's seen Ratatouille at this point, so if you... if you just walked around with a little rat on your head, people would probably... they'd get it. They'd be like, I know what's going on. I'm not gonna judge you for this. I've seen the film. I know they can cook. I know they wash their hands. It's fine. That's impressive, honestly. I don't think I'd want to do that. But they got very flexible legs. That would be, I don't know, convenient maybe. Because if you think about it, like, if you were to eat, like, what is those, like, tortilla chips? And then want to touch something with your hands, like she's trying to read a book. You'd have to, like, wash your hands every time, or at least I would. Like, can you imagine, like, I'm just playing Overwatch with my hands and I can just eat with my feet? That would be pretty convenient, not gonna lie. Then you can suck the Dorito dust off your toes. That's if someone else doesn't suck it off first. Before I can get to it. Anyway. Do I want... listen, I want the toe Dorito dust, but that's in high demand, so... anyone else could snatch it off me before I can get to it. You want me to explain why pregnant Sonic is okay? Okay. Well, first of all, being pregnant isn't always a choice. So, sometimes it just happens. Like with Jesus. And Sonic. Sonic, I'd say, is on par with Jesus. Therefore, Sonic is allowed to be pregnant. Period. There you go. That's the end. Jesus didn't get pregnant. Jesus did get pregnant, actually. It's in the Bible too. Mario and Sonic? No, Mario doesn't get pregnant. That's ridiculous. Me right now? Yeah. Dude, I wish that video did better so I could do more stuff like that. Maybe I will anyway. I'm kind of... Okay, I'm not talking about what I'm doing because I feel like people who talk about what they do don't do the things that they're supposed to be doing. You got to kind of keep that energy inside of you, you know, instead of talking about it. But I've got plans to kind of branch out what I'm doing and allow me to do all the stuff I'm doing without things hindering each other. So more stuff like this will hopefully happen. By the way, too, about like saying stuff. There's definitely... Yeah. It's like the stuff I tell no one about. Like even like all the videos I did, like none of my friends or family knew about it for like at least a couple of years. The only reason anyone found it is because my friends found it because the Splatoon stuff did popular and they came across it by accident. And people from university, it was the same thing. Like some art video became really popular and they found it by accident. So people know about that stuff anyway now. But yeah, any big thing I'm working on, I don't tell anyone really, or at the very least, I don't go into any detail. And I think that helps you actually do the thing. Whereas I feel like a lot of people talk about what they're going to do. I guess it might partially be like people talk about like, oh, I'm going to get into shape, and then they kind of get praised for that. So maybe it's kind of a thing where it's like, oh, I've got the praise and now I kind of don't have the motivation to do it. Whereas if you just don't do it without saying anything, you need to actually do the thing to get the praise. Maybe it's something along those lines. I'm not 100% sure, but it feels like that energy to do the thing kind of isn't as powerful if you let it out. But if you keep it like internally, it really builds up and you're like, I gotta do this or I'm gonna go crazy. Yeah, not letting it dissipate. Yeah, really like it boils up inside of you if you don't let it out. So it's kind of like it's a powerful tool to not let it out. Whereas on the other hand, I guess that's good for like if you do have negative stuff, you just kind of say it, it kind of loses its power a little bit. Tips on not getting depressed every time you see someone get good at art. Okay, so you're talking about like people younger than you getting better than you, like that kind of thing, right? I think that gets to everyone, but I also think you just kind of have to focus on yourself sometimes and just compare yourself to yourself, like your current version of yourself to your past. And on top of that, I don't know, like there's great people out there. There's people that I know who are better at drawing than me, but their goals aren't the same as mine. So it's like regardless of what my skill level is, even if it's not the best, I'm still the only person who's going to make the things that I'm going to make, and no one has the exact same ideas as me or motivations as me. So I feel like that's kind of a good way to look at it, is like, regardless of your skill level, you're the only person who can make the stuff that you're going to make and you want to make. I think that's fine, because like, you know, Hayao Miyazaki is not the best artist in the world, but many people would consider his films to be their favorite. Obviously, he's not doing all the art in the films either, but like, you don't need to be the best to make something that people love. It just needs to be your thing. But also try to be the best version of yourself. But really that's all you can do. What is this? Trying to make a comic is a really hard thing. And I've had plans too where it's like I got the story idea, so I'll turn it into a comic, and it just never gets done. So I'm not really in the best position to give you specific advice on that, but I definitely think, yeah, break it down into what you actually can do on a daily basis. Even if your limit for one day is 10 minutes, you got to try and break the task down, and probably start with the pilot, like start with episode 1 and don't even think about where it's going to go. I would say, yeah, like, so if you've never finished drawing a person, you probably want to practice before you do it. But I would say, I don't know, like, I'm kind of conflicted. I would say you definitely want to practice a lot, but to a certain extent, like, just do it. Just make the thing you want to make, because you're probably never going to be at a level where you're like, finally, I'm good enough to justify making, like, this masterpiece. That's probably never going to happen. So you kind of have to just do it and just make it and see what you end up with. Like, if you look at, like, is it Mob Psycho? Yeah, oh, like One Punch Man. The original art is not good, but it was good enough. The story was good enough that it got picked up and adapted. And now they're making Mob Psycho, or maybe they finished Mob Psycho, I don't know. The art's better in Mob Psycho. It's still not incredible, but it's good stuff. Okay, should I get the friggin' dogs out, actually? Dogs out for the last hour, anyone? Write dogs in chat if you want to see the dogs. Dogs? Question mark. That counts. Okay, the dogs are coming out, boys. Here they are. Bam. It's funny every time. It looks so stupid. Homer. He looks so happy to be in the hole. He looks like he actually has 1 IQ and he's just living in the hole, but he's having it the time of his life. That is great. Good work. Tesco Mobile. Let's freaking go. I want Tesco Mobile as well. It was the cheapest one at the time. I don't think it is anymore. Dude, Tesco Mobile gang goes hard. The Tesco Mobile gang, they stick together, okay? The other people, they don't understand family like we do. I feel like the X thing is just like, I think Elon Musk is good about getting people to talk about him, basically. I feel like that's the only reason the X thing is happening, because it's like, it's not, it doesn't make sense as a branding thing. I feel like it is just to generate conversation, so people talk about Twitter, so it's like relevant in the news, you know? I kind of feel like that's all it is, and I mean, it works. Media these days is too tame. True. I actually very much agree with that. You need a bit of edge. That doesn't mean you need to be edgy or like hateful, but you need some edge. People try too hard to be just like nice, I think, but you need some spice. Actually, like, not ironically, I think for you to be likable, people need to be able to dislike you as well. Like, you need to be a dislikable person to be worth liking. Whereas I feel like a lot of people just like, they're too scared of being disliked, so they just have zero personality. But that just makes them hard to like as well, because there's not really anything there. Bruh. Dude, I have some great thumbnails, I'm not gonna lie. The thumbnail where it's like Sonic, and it says like, you can see his blood. That's like an unintentional legendary thumbnail. Break their limbs. Yeah, I got some good thumbnails. I got some sus thumbnails. That kind of does look like his head shape. It kind of does. Wait, he's making like the same expression as the drawing. You found like the perfect image. Why does that look the same? That's crazy. I like this. Like, looking at the storyboard compared to the final thing. This is good to watch, because I like what I'm working on now is like this level of quality, like rough stuff, so it's good to know that it will end up looking pretty swag once I'm finally done. Damn, dude, this so many hours of my life were put into this, even though it was only like 12 days or something. It was a long 10 days, 12 days even. I don't know why I said 10. And then I changed the orientation of that, because I realized this way was way better. If we all pee at the same time, we can overflow the sewers, because they're not expecting a synchronized pee.